So hello everyone, welcome to the EDM Films podcast and vlog session. With us as always, co-host
Brittney, hello.
And on set we have our special guest, another EDM Films collaborator, Mr.
Jared Covarelli.
So we thought that we would do an installment. You know what? I think the way this show is going is you have all of the topics in your brain, don't you? Or written down somewhere.
Sure.
Okay. So now that I've introduced everyone or got the show kicked off, also check out the new signage back here. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, and hit us up on Instagram. Take it away, Brittney. What's our first topic of the day?
So I think we're going to go with a little bit of pop culture to start.
Okay, sounds good. Hit me.
So let's talk about this ape and zoo situation.
Okay, Harambe the Gorilla that was killed in the Ohio Zoo. I think
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. If you don't know about this, then because this is over a week old. So if you don't know about it, you've been under a rock. All right, so just kick it off. What are your initial thoughts on this situation?
It angers me. I mean, but from the animal advocate side.
Okay.
So I am probably going to be on the opposite side of most people. I mean, I'm a parent, I'm a mom, so that part kind of frustrates me. How do you not know that your kid is climbing into a
gorilla enclosure? Right. No, seriously, for those who were under a rock, I'll just straighten it out for you. In the Cincinnati Zoo, I believe it was Cincinnati,
yes.
Right? Either way, Ohio. Cincinnati is in Ohio, so we're in the right part of the country. A 4-year-old boy fell into a silverback gorilla's.
He did not fall.
He climbed down there?
Literally, there's a concrete, so there's an opening, and then there was a concrete wall that angled down to where it was just a small little drop off once he got down to the bottom. And apparently the little boy kept saying, I want to go in, and the mom was like, no. But then she stopped to take pictures, and there goes this little boy down the concrete wall. And once he got down far enough, he just in.
He's in.
He's
and
in.
Then you see the video where the gorilla drags him through the little water feature that they have down there for him. And then, when I first heard about it, I thought that the gorilla just like ripped the kid limb from limb. He was dragging him, slamming him. And then, I don't know. Did you see the video? What do you think, Jared?
I did see a couple different versions of the video. And they had professionals on there talking about it. And
right. Lean in. Go ahead. Don't be afraid to kiss it. That's why we've got the foam condoms on there.
Is this better?
There you are.
Yeah, much better.
Good. Yes, and they showed old videos, actually, of this happening in the past before. And, like, analysis from, like, psychologists and other people and animal, like, behavioral specialists. And, in that old footage, which wasn't very dissimilar from the footage we have of this new incident, the gorilla was like shielding the child,
just protecting him,
right?
And actually being very gentle, because this time the child did fall in the old one, and was injured and just laying there. And the gorilla came up and was like stroking its head, and then, like, was protecting itself. They said the chaos that the crowd made in that situation and this one, the gorilla saw as a threat. Even though they were freaking out because they thought the gorilla was a threat. So it's this big, like, sociological interspecies drama.
Go ahead and pull that closer to you if you'd like to.
Yeah,
so what was your last point there?
It's that everyone freaked out, I think, for no reason. The gorilla was trying to be protective of what it thought was a vulnerable creature.
Right, and this was in the previous video that you were talking about, right?
Yes, and in this one, because when he dragged the child over to the water area, he it seemed as though he was shielding it from the view of the humans.
Right. Okay.
So,
well, and that's my stance. Is the gorilla was protecting the child, and there was absolutely tranquilize it. You don't have to kill it.
Right.
But then again, if it were my kid, I don't know. I don't know. I'd like to say I don't believe in killing animals. So I'd like to think my child wouldn't have been in there.
Right.
I will say that I think there's a very clear and present danger just because of the giant capacity of power that those animals have.
Right.
You could accidentally hurt the kid while trying to protect it.
Right.
But the kid shouldn't have gotten into the habitat.
Well, I agree. You know, I don't think honestly we're not going to be controversial amongst ourselves here and disagree. I think this is something a lot of people have said is like, oh my gosh, if that was my kid, you'd bet your butt that I would be down there and trying to distract it or something, or maybe not jumping straight in, but running over to the other side and trying to distract the gorilla, you know, anything. But apparently they did nothing. And, you know, I'd like to applaud the person who was cool enough to use their phone and all the people that pulled out their cameras instead of trying to help the kid. I know we live in that day and age and we want to document everything. And to some degree they helped, I suppose. But
I just completely agree. Why grab your phone? Like, why is that the go-to? These girls getting.
So you
beaten
agree
up.
with me or disagree?
No, I agree with you.
Okay.
I'm saying I disagree that it helped.
Okay.
You've got video footage of a girl getting beat up in a bathroom and she dies. Why are you videotaping that? Why are you? I mean, that so many people have gotten so attached to this stupid thing that they're not paying. They're not doing the human thing anymore. They're not protecting other people.
Yeah, that's true. You know, this is kind of going a different direction. I was going to talk. You know, that's fine. I like the way the conversation can meander. That's why we do this. I was going to try to bring it back to film since we are a film group, but you know, I had a buddy of mine that I was talking to about this at lunch today, and we were discussing how everyone is so quick to judge and choose a side. They're like, oh, you know, the parents are stupid, hang the parents, arrest the parents, you know, and then other people are like, I honestly haven't heard anyone say screw the gorilla.
I haven't either.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good majority of people saying, oh, what an awesome beast, couldn't we have saved it? But also, we weren't there. Honestly, it's easy to say. It's like whenever you watch a game show and you're like, I know the answer, you know, and it's like you probably wouldn't if you're under the pressure of being
Right.
on the.
Well, that's why I said if I was there and it were my child, I honestly have no idea what I would do. But I'm such a huge animal rights activist that I'd like to say I would not want the animal to die.
Right. Well, I love animals. Jared, are you an animal lover?
I do love animals.
Do you? You know what?
Yes.
You know what? Let's go ahead and change gears. I think that we all feel for the gorilla. We all wish that. Quick note: how do we know that there's only 300,000 of them left on the planet?
The World Wildlife Federation.
Yeah. How do they know that? Do the gorillas check in and they take a
No.
census? The gorilla census.
It's research. It's studies.
Okay. Well,
I'm a member of the WWF, so
the
WW. That's what it's called, World Wildlife Federation.
Okay.
Oh.
I thought you were going to body slam me for a second
No.
there. All right. So you know what? Let's go ahead and shift gears and talk more about Jared since he's the main reason we're here tonight. Jared, honestly, for those who don't know you, we know you, but go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did you grow up? I don't know. Just freestyle it. Just give me your elevator pitch about Jared.
Well, I'll just kind of try to relate it to acting, since that's kind of my role in this whole film endeavor. Born in San Francisco, grew up in Arizona till I was about 8 or so. And then my dad traveled for work, so we just decided to travel with him. Sold our house, bought an RV, went on the road for 2 years.
Very cool.
Coast to coast. And that whole childhood, I wanted to be either a cowboy or an actor. And preferably an actor playing a cowboy.
That could
I
happen.
was like, let's go to Rawhide like every weekend. But yeah, I was fascinated with both of those things, and it just slowly went towards. I did some theater growing up, and I guess my first big production was. I was in 8th grade. I was Lysander in A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Who?
Lysander.
Lysander. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I never realized how that's like the year I realized how weird Shakespeare was. So yes, I'm gonna start reading more of that. All those old Shakespearean insults.
My
It's
favorite
great. You can just
author of
insult
all
people
time.
and they don't know what you're saying.
Right. So you just shoot it right over their heads.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so born in San Fran, moved to Arizona, loved interested in being an actor or a cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
And so what have you done? You know what? I think we talked about you last time about how sexy you are.
We did.
Talk a little bit about, go ahead and skip us forward to the modeling part. How did that come about? Or was it ever formal? Did you just take some pictures with somebody, or did you ever get paid for it?
To this day, no, I have not been paid for my modeling or acting. It's all just been kind of building portfolio and just doing it for fun, practice. But I guess I was in Tulsa.
Oh, this man travels a lot.
Well, yeah, I mean, I went up for a year of school, and then tuition went up and grants went down, so I decided to hold off on that. And then I lived up there with some friends that taught me, from off-campus friends that I met while I was going to college. I moved in with some of them. They taught me how to ballroom dance. I thought that was cool.
Good to know. Good to know.
A ballroom dancer.
Not great at all of them. My forte is blues dancing, but that's not a huge widespread one for those of you out there that know what blues dancing is. Thank you.
I'm gonna have to Google that. That's what I love about doing these is I learn something new every day. I hope that you learn, that we all learn something. But I watch these and listen back, and sometimes I have to look things up and be like, "What was Jared talking about? What did Brittney mean by that?" You know. So I'll look things up. So all right, blues dancing. Mental note. Look that up.
Yes. It's very intriguing. It's like a mix between tango and swing, is like how I describe it to most people. But then I had a couple friends that they either just needed to do a promo event. Like one guy, he was trying to get into short films like you down here. And I met him, and we did a couple short films, and I put those away. And then it was fun. And then
So you did short films with this other guy.
Yeah, I did a couple.
Okay.
They were a lot shorter and just kind of like more for
So
fun.
you've done two with us so far. One that's complete, Slammed,
Mm-hmm.
and then working on Rooftop Summer. And then so what were the other two? Just little.
Oh man, it was a while ago, and it was like in the heat of the moment. We just kind of like threw it together, and it was like a 1-day filming. And
Okay.
It's kind of like our ghost picture.
yeah,
Remember
like
that? Do you remember that?
No, refresh my memory.
We were at the lake.
Oh
and
yeah.
we
Okay. Yeah, Joey's new camera. It's on
Yeah.
YouTube. Check it out. It's on the EDM Films YouTube page.
So
So you
corny.
did just like, the other gorilla, GUE or GE, whatever. You did the like a
Gorilla
gorilla.
filming.
Yeah, gorilla film. Like you just sort of did a bonsai film.
yeah, just for fun. It wasn't like going to be promoted to anybody
Cool.
really.
So where does the super sexy high fashion pictures come in?
I guess I just had some photography friends throughout the years that were like trying to get into the business, and they were like, "Oh, you got a
Hey,
pretty
you're one
symmetrical
sexy.
face."
Yeah, you're a sexy beast. I want to take your
I was
picture.
like, okay, cool. So I just went out and did it for fun, and then because you guys were talking about a specific one when you
Yeah,
were
the
like,
very GQ
The
black.
GQ black and white.
You? I went, yeah, that's me. That was a buddy that my dad had met.
Would not want that guy talking to my girlfriend back in the day. I got to tell you, I got to hand it to you. That's a great photo. Oh yeah,
his
we
name was,
we popped it up in one of the last episodes.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
That'll be fun. Yeah, his name was Datmai, and my dad met him, and he has a buddy who does like special effects for actual like full length movies in the DFW and Austin area, I think. And I don't know if he travels by now, but he was cool. He got this contraption that he built himself out of an ice chest to get like fog down into the water area outside of this like glass mansion we were at, and
Wow.
just did like a high fashion type
Right.
thing. Me and
That's
this other
really cool.
girl.
Yeah, that is cool. Like when you run a fog machine through a cooler like that, it stays down towards the ground. So a lot of haunted
Yeah.
houses
Well, it was
do
just,
things like
I
that.
think it was just like dry ice in a
Yeah,
cooler. It was
there-
pretty
yep,
sweet.
dry ice in the cooler. Yep.
Yeah, it's like very innovative.
So you know quite a few film and creative types.
Yeah, Always
You have a resume.
kind of been attracted to each other. It just kind of happens that way.
Did you have
just
anywhere
networking.
specific you wanted to take this? I know that you wanted to talk about intimacy.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say that's a good segue. So we were gonna talk about intimacy.
Talk about intimacy.
Um,
You two talk about that. I'll just take a water break.
No, so to circle back to EDM Films, because that's what we are. Currently working on Rooftop Summer, and Jared, as mentioned in a prior podcast, plays Dave.
That's right.
Making sure I got that right. Which is one of the 3 leads. And in this, let's talk a little bit about, because we had mentioned before, we had this whole discussion on method versus classic, and I'm the classic and you're the method. And so let's just talk for a second from a method actor's point of view. How difficult was Dave? Because Dave has some, without giving too much away, right? Because we want you to watch the
Spoiler
film.
alert.
But how difficult was it for you to get into the mind? Some of the scenes with Dave are pretty intense. So, as a method actor, Can you explain kind of what your process was, or how you?
How do you become Dave, Jared?
Well, to start out, from my training that I took, it was took from Teresa Bell. So thank you for that. She was an amazing teacher, and she taught the Ivana Chubbuck method, which is a substitution method developed by Roy London in L.A. And Roy London's taught Robert Downey Jr., Brad Pitt, big names like that.
He was also Teresa Bell's acting coach.
It was, yes, Teresa Bell's act she took straight from Roy London in L.A. back in the day, and then decided she wanted to teach as well. So I had a buddy that was moving out to L.A., Jack Elliott. I don't know. I'll have to text him and see which one of those. You might have to cut one of those names out.
That's fine.
One might be a pseudonym that we're supposed to use.
Oh, okay.
Anywho.
Well, we're going to build our viewership and our listenership, so we'll just leave it out there. If it makes the cut and someone contacts us, that'll be a good thing. If enough people hear it or watch it, then we're doing something right.
Yeah. So props to you, Mr. Elliott. Thank you for sending me to Teresa Bell, because he's the one. He was leaving to go to L.A. to get his career started, and he put a good word in for me, and that's how I got in her class. So
very cool.
Did that for a while, and that was specifically steered towards training for film acting. So she always had a camera on set and did all that. So it starts with, for me, the way she taught us was every line that you speak and every line somebody else speaks and everything in between, if you haven't personally experienced exactly what's going on in that scene or said that or seen it before or whatever, you find a substitution in your life that elicits the exact same emotional reaction that you would get from what is actually in the script.
Right.
And you think about that while you say and do what you're doing in the film, which gives you a genuine emotional response and delivery and lines that are said to you and that you speak.
Right. Oh man, does that mean when we were making out you were totally thinking about someone else?
Yeah, probably.
Well, was that the first time y'all had ever kissed?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's not the first time you've ever. Both movies so far you've smooched.
I've had a bedroom scene.
Yeah. We keep it real tame though. We like I said, we touched on that before. We try to keep it real tame, but you know what? If it helps the reality, if it helps to keep it gritty, and maybe I don't need to call cut so soon. Miss Brittney, should I have let the scene develop a little further?
A little bit more. A little bit longer.
Okay.
I mean, we can reshoot it if you want.
I mean, this is a good table. We're good at improvising. Hold on,
the camera's already rolling.
Right. Okay. So I'm out of here. All right. So let's go ahead and then tell us a little bit more about your perspective of Dave. What do you think Dave is? And just, I don't think there would be any spoilers. Just go for it. If you were to tell us about your buddy Dave, who's in Rooftop Summer, the character in Rooftop Summer, what would you say?
Well, to me, when Mike made the detailed background for all our characters of basically who he wanted them to be, from their upbringing, what they've been through and all that, the school they've gone to, their parents, he made that list for us just so we would have an idea.
Mike Hughes, the writer, and
yes.
He's also another film partner here.
Writer/creative director.
Right. Well, it's kind of funny is when we do the credits, we're all going to have 2 or 3 different roles. But yeah, he's going to be a writer, producer, director.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
But anyway, so we clarified that. So Mike did a character background for you.
A pretty defined.
Yeah.
The most defined I've ever seen, actually.
Yeah, I was impressed when we showed up to our pre-production meeting and all these documents. Props to you, Mike. I really was
Absolutely.
Impressed by that. So I'm glad that we're gonna hold you to that standard from here on out for every project we work
on. So I just took that, and from there, the character kind of evolved into this. He wasn't born middle class. He was actually born more upper class. Grew up, his parents had money, didn't really have to want for anything, went to college, got a good education, loves philosophy, a lot of similar things to me, except, the lots of money and finishing education thing. But I would have to say it's not one of the hardest roles I've done, even though there was a lot of emotional behind the scenes, like inner monologue
Right.
that had to go on to create those moments. But I'd say he got to that point where he was like, he truly realized money does not buy you happiness. So he's like, well, what does then?
Right.
What gets you happiness? What is happiness? And to me, that's his journey through this film, is dealing with things he's done in the past that, maybe he's not too happy that he did or said.
Like maybe demons, mistakes, things that come
yeah.
back.
Like everybody has their little secrets.
Well, and that's the central point of the story, right? Is that we all have secrets.
Right. And the upbringing, honestly, when you brought that up, it makes sense that Dave, Chad, and Kate are all similar, because we didn't really show this. I guess this is where I'm not going to give away too much, but it doesn't matter. I guess we don't have to keep prefacing. I mean, but they all grew up and they were friends like since little kid. Like they grew up elementary through college, and so I guess they would all come from similar backgrounds. If they were all in the same school district in the same school. Honestly, I didn't read over every single person's background. I thought Dave probably came from a different background, because he certainly is in a different place as an adult.
Right.
My quick summary of Dave would be seedy scumbag.
Well, that's a little harsh.
Well, at this point in his life, he is. And not Jared. I'm not looking at.
No, I know. And
Jared is a love. I love Jared. But Dave in the film, this character is kind of seedy, kind of scary.
Yeah.
To me, anyway.
Well, yeah.
On kind of a passive, subconscious, emotional level.
I was thinking the other day, and I was like, what Kate's thing is? I finally realized what Kate's thing is.
What is that?
She grew up in a life that was, again, like Jared said, kind of had everything she wanted, didn't really need or want for anything. And so she decided to wake up one day and felt the need for drama. And so she created some. She
just wakes up, she's like, oh, today's the day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, you know what? We are going to have Chad, Matt, who plays Chad. He's going to sit in here, and I guess we'll go with the whole spectrum there and figure out what his perspective is. That poor guy. His character is just caught between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
Because he wants to be with Kate. He's got Jenny, and he's homies with Chad, or is
Dave.
he? Yeah, Chad and Dave. Yeah, Chad and Dave are buddies. But are they really? I don't know. There was kind of a moment at the bar scene where it didn't seem like they were clicking, and it was good.
I feel like we were acquaintances that were forced to be closer friends than we naturally would have been
Because
by
of
the interaction
me.
with her.
Okay.
And the fact that we've just known each other and been around each other a lot throughout the years. We weren't always best friends probably, but...
Right. So you got the bad boy
Yeah.
that Kate's drawn towards Dave, but then she likes the little preppy, cutesy Chad.
It's the two worlds in one. I get the raw, real, dark, just
passion
with you, and then with Chad, Matt, I get the cuddle and the romantic and the sweet and the fun dates, and it's like it's the best of both worlds, right?
You get the flowers
and
and
I don't
chocolate.
have to commit to either one, so it's freaking awesome.
Wait, are we still talking about a movie here? Okay, you know what? I think we're at a really good place. If you, is there anything you want to say before we? Maybe give a pitch about the film. Invite people out, encourage them to see it. I don't know. What do you have anything personally you'd like to tell us about? Anything going on in Jared's life you want to pitch right quick?
Oh, not specifically on a personal level, I guess, but I'm really excited about this short film and the way that they want to put it out there. I don't know if you guys are still planning on doing that, but the live music,
the live band,
right?
Scoring it to live music, so a live band can be playing it while people watch it in a public setting. It's different and it's new, and it's something that I haven't personally seen done before, and I think it'll be an adventure.
It's going to be tricky. It kind of sunk in. We're going to cut a version that can live online, so people can watch it and be a full sufficient short film. But when we do it, the live screenings, That's going to be interesting.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah. So you know what? Any final words from you, Brittney?
No, I think that you should give him a little teaser, maybe of the,
Little teaser of the makeout.
Yeah.
The mugging.
See what happens.
Well, we'll see. Mike and I are getting together tomorrow for an edit session, so we'll have some more footage. We'll be, plowing through some footage, and we'll put some things together. So that's why you need to stay tuned. So keep listening to us on SoundCloud. Keep checking us out on YouTube, and all of our announcements are consistently on Twitter and Facebook. So follow us there. As always, we appreciate all of your, for listening and watching. And so for new news and updates, just keep following and tell your friends. So until next time, we're out.